The Public Investment Corporation is the largest fund manager on the continent with about 1.8 trillion rand under management. Its recent decision to support the Lonmin rights issue has led to renewed questions about the extent of which politics, rather than profits, has an influence on its decision making. But in studio to discuss the PIC is Finweek editor Jana Marais. Jana, lovely to have you. Why are there concerns around the transaction regarding Lonmin?
I think a strong case can be made that Lonmin should probably have been made to fail. You know, if you look at the number of rights issues they've done since, if you look at since 2009, what the share price has been doing, I think there's very little investor confidence in Lonmin. And I think the only reason why they still keep going is because the PIC put up their hand and said, look, we'll underwrite this rights issue up to a maximum of 25%. And you have people like Neil Froneman, CEO of Sibanye Gold, who's been sniffing around in that sector and in that area, particularly in Rustenburg, for platinum assets, saying, look, I don't think a pension fund should be putting money into an asset like Lonmin. It's just too risky. And the flip side of it is, of course, that raises the question, was there political pressure to say there's thousands of jobs on the line and you have to support them? So I think it does raise that question. The other side of it is maybe they can actually make it work, and then it's not a case of throwing good money after bad. The PIC has already lost so much in terms of their investment into Lonmin. You might as well, give it a shot and see if we can make this thing work. So
you mentioned already pension funds, and of course this is why we continue to watch what the PIC does. But do you think there are appropriate checks and balances in place to ensure that they are not engaging in transactions that people might say are reckless?
Look, I think you can ask questions about the level of transparency at the PIC. We've been, if you go through their latest annual report, for example, there's actually very little details about very big transactions that they've done. And for example, we've tried to get comment from them on our story and really struggled to get any information out of them. So the other argument would be that there's things like an investment committee, and of course the government employees pension fund would put pressure on them to make sure and that it's possibly a very small portion of overall transactions that you can actually raise red flags about. So probably not necessary to lose sleep, but you can ask the question, possibly they could do better than they are at the moment.
Jana, some food for thought, but of course if you want more you can get all of that information in this week's Finweek. That was Jana Marais, Finweek editor. We're going into a very short break. When we come back we'll be discussing how you can manage your money wisely ahead of those Christmas temptations. Stay with us.